All right, well, getting ready to install the Hill Engineering dead pedal off of my 458 Italia. Got the little Allen head screws here. I believe these are M5. If I'm not mistaken, they might be 6. Anyways, as I remember, I used little Allen keys here. So we'll get busy and get this installed. What we're talking about here is Ferrari delivers the 458 and the 488 with just a rubber little pad for your left foot. Hill Engineering makes this, which I'm presuming that the 458 model goes on the 488. So it's held on by two little screws here, Allen head screws, and it's got little tabs that stick in the back. So I'm gonna see what I can do here, but it's pretty straightforward installation, and as you can see, it matches the pedals over here. Interesting note, when I purchased the Ferrari, this pedal was actually over one screw hole here, but it was so close that the side of my shoe was catching when I was going back and forth between the pedals. I don't know if they misdrilled it or if it's just my shoe has a bigger lip on the edge, but I ended up taking this off and sliding it over this way, one screw hole, and putting it back on, which made for a lot better spacing as far as the pedals go. So, okay, now let's see about pulling this little guy off here real quick. Okay, so this little screw was a little gummed up there from Ferrari, but that's, you know, how it is with low production cars, I guess. Garage and rigged this little guy up here to get to that upper screw. Also get my Big Larry flashlight. This thing's super handy. Big Larry, get them on eBay. They run off 3 AA batteries, which I use rechargeable. It's got high, low, and emergency flasher. I almost always keep one of these in the car, but they're super handy around the shop for working, and they have a little magnetic base. So still working on getting that little guy out up there. All right, so got the bottom screw out. What I was talking about before is you can kind of see this has little plugs that are supposed to go in these holes, but you can kind of see what happens when they install them. They get smashed up. I had the same issue on the 458, and I actually trimmed these off and reinserted them, so they just kind of get smashed in there. And so you can kind of see how it goes here a little bit. So you pull all those off, and then you get this guy out, and you can just kind of see why people, you know, replace this. So then that just gives you kind of this little panel here, and you gotta kind of make sure this is down in there. Okay, and so that's going to give us the little spot. You can kind of see these are the factory screws. On the 458 Italia, I had to get longer ones to get the screws started way down in there. Doesn't look like that will be an issue with the 488, but let's see if our holes match up here. Okay, yeah, so that looks like it's going to fit in there about right. Let me do some double checking, make sure everything's going to be okay, but I think that's probably going to be an acceptable kind of fit. It looks like I might just have to trim this a little bit or just pinch it down with the bolts. So, all right, let me give that a shot and see where we end up. Okay, and before I forget, I wanted to measure these Allen cap screws, the countersunk. I'm using 30mm length, and that's because you kind of need that extra little few millimeters to get down in there and start the threads. So for anyone who's doing this job themselves, 30mm on the screw length. All right, well, we're all done with the installation of the Hill Engineering dead pedal there. And you can see I removed the protective coating from these metal plates, so it dresses things up down here quite a bit. And I feel like this is a really nice, inexpensive upgrade for the Ferrari, whether it be the 458 Italia or the 488 GTB. It did use the same bolt holes as the 458, and as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I think this is the pedal off my 458 Italia. I did notice that this hole on the top, which goes into the aluminum body, had been partially cross-threaded by Ferrari. I guess they were a little hasty in installing the factory bolt. Luckily, I was able to kind of recut the threads on the top with the screw. Didn't need to get a tap or anything, and got things back in order. Finished the installation, pulled off the little protective coating, and I think it turned out real nice. This is definitely the winner here. I believe I picked this up at AutoZone, if I'm not mistaken. Titan. This is real handy. And then this is just a, let's see if I can get this off. This is actually just a part from Sears. They come with a little anodized aluminum knurled thumb ring, and I just press it out in the vise, and then I just use a 4mm bit. So this combination here worked real well, and of course my Big Larry flashlight helps immensely. Anyways, that's it on the installation. Next on the list will be installing the Braille lithium-ion battery over there. I believe it's the i48CS, and I'll see about doing a video for that. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed this video showing the installation of the Hill Engineering dead pedal on the 488 GTB.